Our first story is from Amai the A-hole. My child's teacher made a sexual comment towards her. My fourth grade daughter came home from school and told me that her math teacher gave her a compliment. I'm guessing he framed it this way. He told her that as she grows into a young lady, she's going to fill out very nicely, and said he's excited to see her growth over time. I was enraged. I don't want her going to the school anymore, and I want to report this teacher. My husband said that the comment shouldn't be taken too seriously because it was just a joke. He said a report like this can ruin the teacher's whole life. My husband said not to ruin the guy's life because our daughter is already going to be leaving the school. He also thinks this guy could target our family if he finds out that he was reported, and it can turn into a potentially dangerous situation. I absolutely think the comment should be taken seriously regardless. Would I be an a-hole to go against my husband's wishes and just report it even though she will no longer be attending that school? This is putting a lot of stress on me. I feel like her husband needs to be kept the eye on him, because in what world is it okay for a grown man to say to a young girl, I can't wait for you to fill out whatever he just said? Like, that's weird. That's signs of predatory behavior. That's very perverted. And on top of that, this is like how things start. Like, someone saying weird little things to little girls or little boys, and then it spirals out of control. And then later, in years down the line, someone says, well, back in the day he said this to my kid and I didn't really think anything big of it. Like, no, that's sexual harassment at some to a certain degree, and he needs to be reported for that because that's weird and unwarranted. Am I the a-hole for calling my dad a hypocrite and telling him family therapy won't fix us? After my dad married Jane 7 years ago and he started to get really involved in her daughter Amy's 16 life, I, 15 female, left out. My life had been really difficult up to then, and I was struggling with everything. I had lost my mom 2 years before, and I also suffered a brain injury and was grieving the loss of a lot of memories of my mom. I was recovering, and dad was distracted with Jane. It was tough, but then my dad got along with Amy so much better, and he always seemed more into the time he spent with her than the time he spent with me. He also shared more of his own interests with her. He took her to special places he adored that he didn't ever take me to, and I wanted to go. He shared with her stuff he didn't share with me. I was jealous and I was hurt. I tried to explain to my dad, but he told me it was selfish to want to keep him to myself and to leave Amy without a dad, and how her dad didn't want to know her, so he needed to fill that role for her. Amy would tell me to just accept the dad liked her better, and he was her dad more than mine now. My dad knew about it and didn't care. He did spend time with me, but with stuff I liked, and he'd act like it was the biggest burden to spend time with me. He fell asleep a few times, and he would zone out a lot and leave me to do the stuff alone, even though he was physically there. My grandpa, my dad's dad, noticed, and he started spending more time with me and creating a bond with me that we didn't have before. My dad isn't that close to his dad, but grandpa has been the best. He even loved my mom, and he told me how sad it made him when my parents divorced. He's told me stories about her and me that I don't remember any longer. It has been amazing, and apparently it has healed a lot of the pain, my dad's lack of interest, because my dad noticed and he got so jealous. He confronted me a few days ago saying I was ignoring him and spending way too much time with grandpa. He asked me why I stopped asking about our time together. I told very clear he prefers spending time with Amy and can't stand time with me. Can't spend time with me. So I'm spending time with someone who enjoys me. He told me I don't have the right to rub my favoritism of grandpa in his face. I called him a hypocrite and told him he treated Amy better than me for years. He showed favoritism to her, opened up to her, and shared with her in a way he never did with me, and it wasn't okay. I told him. He then called me selfish for telling him how it made him feel. I told him she knows him better than I do and it's not my fault. I said he allowed that to happen and allowed her to feel so smug about it. He walked away from the conversation. Dad decided the two of us needed family therapy yesterday. He came out with it from nowhere. He said it's the only way to fix it. I told him family therapy won't fix us when he can't even stay and have a conversation with me. He told me I used to be willing to try and now I'm not, and it's not okay. Am I the a-hole? I'm sorry, but does this guy get off the fact that his daughter is hurting and wanted his attention all the time and he just keeps ignoring her? because now that she moved on to her grandpa who loves her and gives her the attention and time a young child needs, why is he so upset? He didn't want to do it to begin with. It's like he doesn't want his daughter to have anything at all. Like nothing from grandpa and nothing from him. And for her to be stuck, hurt, jealous, and upset all the time. Am I wrong for telling my son's girlfriend to break up with him? My female 41, son male 20, has been in a relationship with his girlfriend Lily, female 20, for about 3 years now. I love my son, and I hate to say this, but he's not turned out to be a good person. He has very little work ethic, has no desire to get a job or go to college, and spends most of his time gaming or partying. Lily, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. She's very studious, has aspirations to be a doctor, is a very good swimmer, and is currently away at college. When my son and Lily first got together in high school, they were an excellent match. We loved having Lily over, and my son definitely took more care of himself. Since then, it's rapidly deteriorated. I know my son loves Lily, but he never gives her the attention she deserves, and with her clear potential, I just feel she deserves better. When Lily came to visit a few days ago, she was visibly upset. When my son went to the store, I asked her if she was okay, and she told me that she didn't know what to do and wondered why my son had such little ambition and was so lazy. I told her I didn't see it changing anytime soon, as that's my view given it's been going on for almost 2 years. When she asked what I do in her situation, I told her to put herself first and what she wanted. Lily thanked me and said she'd think about things. Well, earlier today, my son comes downstairs in a rage telling me that Lily had broken up with him by text. I asked him what she said, and apparently the message referred to discussions with your mom that had made her rethink the relationship. My son was livid that I'd got involved and said I've overstepped boundaries. I told him that I didn't advise Lily to leave him, just said she had to make her own choices and decide what was best for her. My son is now not talking to me, and my husband is annoyed, believing that having no Lily will make my son's rut last even longer. I also miss having Lily around. So am I the a-hole? I feel like this is the first time in not even ever. I feel like this is the first time in a long time I've ever seen a mom, a boy mom to be specific, actually be for real and not be delusional and dumb and crazy about her dumb son. Like, I'm so glad she told her. This is why I mean, like, a girl's girl, because if even your child is messed up, there's no reason for you to lie to some poor girl and drag her along and ruin her youth and ruin her time and ruin her life because of your dumb son who can't get things together. And her son, he's young. What, they just graduated high school 2 years ago. He's what, 19 and 20 now. But at the end of the day, if he asks how he chose to spend his youth, he shouldn't drag some poor girl who clearly loves him and wants his time and attention and wants him to be better along. And I'm glad OP told that girl that advice, because now, like, even if like when you're dating a man, even if his own mom doesn't see much potential in him, what potential do you see in him? So yeah, I feel like OP is not wrong. What do you guys think?